Oh, I didn't see you there. Actually, I still don't. What's up, guys? Matt the Greeter here. It is time for a mail call. I got a couple of stickers I want to show off, and a couple of other things. I had to put a hat on. The only thing shiny on my motorcycle is my bald head, so that's not always good for cinematography, which this is obviously not. But let's get on with the mail call, shall we? So I'm going to start with the first sticker. It's not from a moto vlogger, but you may recall I did a couple of tattoo-related episodes. One was on tattoo etiquette, and a previous episode was about I don't want to get a tattoo from anyone other than my tattoo guy, right? And there might be a tattoo party coming up, and I don't know how I feel about getting a tattoo from someone else. But I like to be a good sport at the same time. So anyhow, so what does that have to do with anything? Well, let's check out the sticker, and we'll figure it out. So my friend E, I'll say E to protect the innocent, but E went down to Florida and picked up this pretty incredible sticker. So I don't know how she found it, but if you peel the skin off my face, I look just like this inside. I'm not biting a surfboard or anything like that, except when I get anxious. But anyway, Ron John's Surf Shop. So my friend E went down to Florida, and with some family stuff, and I'd like to say picked up the sticker and came home because it's all about me. But no, it's not. So what happened was she went down. It was a family thing. She wound up getting engaged down there to her tattoo artist boyfriend. So congratulations there. That's awesome. While they were doing some sightseeing, they came across the real Ron John Surf Shop, and she picked up a pile of stickers for the people she works with, and was first to work that day. So I got the first pick, and I think I made out real well. So thanks, E, for this incredible sticker. So pretty cool stuff. The next sticker, this actually came with a note, and you'll know who this is. I almost guarantee it. And if you don't, you will by the time I'm done. I'll flash you the sticker, and then you'll know who it is. All right, did you see that? I'll give you 10 seconds. I'm not going to give you 10 seconds. Check it out. Toby Northern from the Commonwealth of Kentucky sent this pretty sweet sticker. And so Kentucky is a Commonwealth. I didn't know that. So I know Massachusetts is a Commonwealth. I don't know what that means. I think that's one of those old things that doesn't carry the weight that it used to carry. Like the word awesome used to mean like you were in awe, and all that stuff. And now you can just say, oh, yeah, I got a new pencil today. That's awesome. Whatever. Any Commonwealth. What does that mean when it comes to a state in the United States of America? Because I know Massachusetts, where I live, this is not Commonwealth. There are some limited supply of people who seem to have all of the money or most of it, and then the rest of us don't have a whole lot of it to spread around. So I don't understand what Commonwealth really means. It must mean something else. So anyway, Toby Northern, riding out of Kentucky. Give him a follow. I'm going to leave a link down in the thing. Click on it. It'll send you to the thing, and then you can subscribe to the thing and whatever. But you probably already subscribed to Toby. If not, get on it, would you? And anyway, thanks for the sticker, buddy. I appreciate it. Next and final sticker. Oh, it came with a nice note too. So thanks, man. Final sticker is this one with a little bit controversial. So this was made by a friend of the family and a friend of my parents. It's a really well-made sticker. He designed the whole thing himself. It looks great, and the quality is awesome. But I've got mixed feelings about it. Why? Because I'm sensitive? No. Just trying to be, well, maybe sensitive is right. We're trying to be sensitive to realities that get swept under the carpet sometimes. So this used to be the logo of a local school, and the logo was changed because this has very little to do with our area now, in almost entire part to the atrocity that was just leveled upon people who are already living in this continent, walked over Beringia or whatever, following the food sources, and walked here thousands of years ago, and then just not very long ago historically, were just brutalized and wiped out by conquerors is a nice way of saying what happened. It's in this continent. So, but what happens is, enough people recognize this as possibly being offensive, that it needed to be changed. And what you get is the old way of thinking people. I'm not saying old people, because there's some people who are taught, some very young people who are taught, these ways of thinking, but are taught like, this is the way it's always been. This has always been our mascot. I don't see what the big deal is. You shouldn't change it. Wait, you want to change everything? You're changing this. Well, listen, man. I don't think that white people get to determine what is offensive to other people. I think those other people get to determine whether something's offensive or not. That's not white people's job, right? We got a lot of like white Jesus believing people here, and it's weird. It creates a lot of conflict. Hey, Jesus wasn't white, right? Come on, man. Middle East. So, but there's a lot of like crazy stuff that's kind of like, it's fostered and it's encouraged, and so when change has to happen, there's a huge kickback, and there's a lot of people who, like, they'll go out of their way, have a massive flag billowing off their car or painted on their driveway. Why? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But so here we gotta probably have a bunch of people driving around with the used to be blah 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 as a way of saying, like, yeah, I was in the good old days. This was my man. Well, come on, guys, get over it, right? And I think sometimes we got to just deal with a reality outside of our own egos. Sometimes, I don't know. I know I deal with it on a daily basis. Listen, man, I'm a pretty judgmental person sometimes, but it is almost 100% leveled at me, right? I'm my own worst critic. So, but anyhow, when I see something like that, or like a local high school used to fly the Confederate flag all the time, and obviously that had to come down. As some of you may disagree, but where I came up and who I am dear friends with, that had to change. You know what I mean? For me anyway, and for my area. But there's still people who fly it on their car and do stuff like that around here, and we'll drive back and forth in front of like a Black Lives Matter. Or, this is not supposed to be political, but why are you going to throw that and drive back and forth in front of, people who are just trying to unify and strike a common chord? So anyhow, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have even shown you that sticker, but it's just, these are realities. Not a lot of white people that I know really want to talk about or acknowledge some of that stuff. But some of them do, and many of my people of color, whom I call dear friends, these aren't actual issues that affect them on a daily basis. And what affects them affects me, because we're all one people, right? So anyhow, that's the only reason I guess I bring that up. This video is getting on a little long, so yeah, what else should I show you in this mail call? I got a box today from Revzilla. They had a sale. So as you know, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, my name isn't on car dealership signs, I'll put it that way. So when I make a purchase, it has to be affordable, and I got to kind of vet it first. So I actually haven't seen this yet, so I'll use my magic straight edge and imagine tearing sounds here. And let me show you what arrived in the mail today. This should really help my riding experience. It's giant bubble wrap. That's not what it is. All right, check it out. What this is an actual riding backpack. Can you hear me over the crinkling? I don't even know what the brand is. Oh, Icon. So this is a high vis. It's a backpack that has a few pockets. One of them is like it's lined so you could put a cold drink in there or whatever. There's like an option for a hydration pouch. It comes with a little waterproof thing you can like hang your helmet in if you're off the bike and walking around, or you can put it over the bag if you get caught in the rain. So anyway, the price was right. It was way down in cost. So I've been looking for like thrift store, things like this, unless the price became right at some point. And so instead of going the thrift store route, I ended up picking up the real deal. It was $88. The next cheapest one was like 128, and then we're in the couple hundreds after that. So Icon, it's got the wicking layer here, so you wear it against your shirt, and even if you're sweating, it draws the sweat away. So I'm gonna let you know how that is down the road. It arrived 15 minutes ago. So I just wanted to show you. I'm trying to get a little more high vis around here. People getting smacked all the time, and I don't want to be one of them again. All right, it's happened to me twice. So let's not make it the trifecta. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to show you a couple of visuals of things that I talked about previously that you might find beneficial, because I talked about them, and hey, maybe it's old news, but now that you see it, I talked about Tad Williams, my favorite fantasy author, second to J.R.R. Tolkien. This was the book I was talking about, War of the Flowers. It's a single book. Tad Williams is famous for his 4, 5, 6 book trilogies. Once he gets writing, his world just grows enormous, and it's detailed and it's wonderful to get lost in. This is a standalone. It's a little over 800 pages. Don't be intimidated by that. Once you get into this thing, you just keep going. You have to. You got to find out what happens. So Tad Williams, check him out. Check this book out specifically if you're looking for an interesting read, mixing the modern with a fantasy element. And the main character, Theo Vilmos, he's a musician. And then here's the other thing I want to show you. This was, I made mention of this before. Rising Low is the documentary that Mike Gordon made. It is sort of involving... Government Mule, one of my favorite bands of old, they lost their bass player, Alan Woody. They were a trio, so right, like Rush. So you lose a member, it's impossible to carry on. And they didn't want to call it quits, but they weren't sure that they wanted to move on without Alan Woody. But what they did was they invited as many of their favorite bass players and Alan's favorite bass players as would participate to play with them. And so a few things came out. This documentary, Rising Low by Mike Gordon, and then there's a Deep End, On the Banks of the Deep End, a couple of CD series and DVD concert series with Government Mule and all those different bass players. This came out like right after I picked up my first electric bass. I had just became a bass player. This came out. Their CDs with all the bass players came out. It was, I can't explain to you how incredibly important this DVD was to my development as a bass player. I tell everybody about it. And people are like, that sounds really interesting. And then they never watch it. So come on, you could be the first. So give this a watch. I don't know if it's on, whatever thing you use on the internet, but Rising Low, if you're interested in electric bass at all, or if you're a music fan or a fan of Government Mule, you got to check this documentary. It's quirky. It's Mike Gordon. He's from Phish, right? It's quirky. But if you want to see masters of their craft in action and hear words right from their mouths, you got to check out Rising Low, documentary by Mike Gordon. So anyway, that's all I got for you. This is too long for a mail call, probably. So anyway, thanks again. E, thanks for the sticker. Toby, thanks for the sticker. And my parents' friend, thanks for providing a little talking point. Interested to hear your opinions in the comments. And let's keep it friendly. Let's keep it kind. I'm not trying to cast stones or anything like that. I'm really not. But it's a hugely important issue in my life, the way we treat other people. It really, really is. I've seen some of the worst of it. and I like to think things will change, but you got to talk about it. You can't just talk to your same demographic to find other sides of the story. You got to talk to everybody, right? And more importantly, you got to listen to everybody, which is what I'm trying to be better at, right? So guys, thanks for tagging along. It's a little midweek interruption, and back to my regularly or irregularly or whatever you want to call it. Well, I'll see you in a couple of days. All right, guys. Matt the Greeter. Care about you. Bye.